probably weren't taught, but I will teach you from 35,000 feet in the air. Number one, your income is limited by skills, not by time. Poor people are taught to trade time for money, whereas wealthy people focus on skills that multiply their income. Sales, investing, tech, ownership, all of the above. The faster you build your valuable skills, the faster you will realize your income grows. My time is my single most valuable asset that I have and that I take care of. Number two,
First off, shout out to the jet in the back. It looks very much real with the glare and everything. Shout out to the jet, and I think that first advice is so important for everybody to understand. Like looking at so many people that are getting laid off, 40,000 layoffs, 30,000, ridiculous amount of layoffs. You would hear one of the key things that she said was skills. She talked about her skills, and I think a lot of times it's really hard for people to grasp the fact that, when you create a skill, like, okay, what else? A lot of people are gifted in certain areas, but they don't know what to do with it. But I really like how she's starting off. So
spending your salary on luxuries can be very freaking dangerous. I cannot stress that enough. If you buy luxuries before building an emergency fund, investments, or creating multiple streams of income, you are trading long term security for short term pleasure. It is imperative that you create long term security. If you have to finance luxuries, it should not be in your mind. Get it out of your mind, throw it away. You should not consider it. Number three, overconsumption will keep you broke. You do not need everything that is advertised to you. You don't need the Labubus. You do not need the tropical eye patches. You do not need the skin care 100-step routine. You do not need the new Air Jordans. You do not need those. What you need is a healthy savings. Liabilities hide in lifestyle. Liabilities that you are accruing is hiding in a lifestyle you are chasing after. It does not make sense. Number four, and probably the most important.
I'm gonna be honest. What she just said is probably something that has saved me. And I haven't built like massive wealth or anything like that. Been on jets and things like that. But I remember so many times where there was this urge to buy something just because it was dangled in my face. And I remember saying, I'm so glad I did not spend my money on that because an opportunity always came for me to invest into something better or invest into myself. And if I would have wasted and spent that money on, let's just say some shoes or some clothes or, just doing whatever, going on a quick vacation or whatever, I would have never had the opportunity to invest that money into myself. Quick consumption is so important. One of my mentors, he always talked about how you need to earn whatever you're getting, you need to earn it. Like set a goal. And it's better to walk in somewhere knowing that you have the money to pay for it and walk out without it versus walk in and you walk out now you don't have the real money for real. What they say, Jay-Z said, if you can't pay for it twice, don't pay for it. And honestly, in today's time, you pay for it twice, that's not even enough. You really want to make sure that you're tapping into uh, some type of understanding that you don't need everything that you see. So this is really, really good advice.
Out of all of this is a life insurance policy is not just about protection when you die. It can actually be used as leverage. Hear me out. The cash value inside your life insurance policy grows tax deferred. You will not be taxed against that. And you can borrow against that at low interest rate at any time without having to sell assets or paying extra taxes. Your money will continue to grow and compound over time whilst you're basically using it as collateral. Financial advice you probably.
So I've been licensed to sell life insurance for the last 4 years. And a lot of people really don't understand that concept of putting money and storing money into your insurance policies. Your insurance policies are an asset. You're literally taking pennies and purchasing dollars, which is, incredible. But a lot of people are only exposed to life insurance from the death benefit aspect. Let me get 40. Let me get $1 million worth of coverage. Let me get $2 million worth of coverage, which is really, really cool. But most people are really missing out on the wealth piece, the compound interest piece. Compound interest is an incredible model that you have to take advantage of. But another piece that people are missing out on is the ability to borrow from your money and still have it grow as if that money is still there. because you're going to always make money. Most people that are making money, they don't, they don't have the understanding that most people who are not making money have. So for people that are making a lot of money, they're like, where do I put it? That's the first thing that they're thinking about is where do I put my money? Do I put my money into a trading account? Do I put my money in the stock portfolios, crypto portfolios? You have a lot of people that are really, they're not looking for 100% returns. You have a lot of people that are looking for just a 5% return or just a 7% return, and they will live off of that return. And then another thing that wealthy people always talk about is something that she also said was the ability to not pay taxes on the growth. As that money is compounding over time, you don't have to pay taxes on the growth of that money over time. And I think, when I have these conversations with people, they're always like, okay, where do I start? What do you mean, where do you start? When you go build your IRA portfolio, when you go to work and you get a match at your job, you start funding your 401k portfolio, you don't ask them, okay, how much should I put in or where should I start? You take a percentage of your earnings, you take a percentage of what you're saving, and you just start putting money into it, and you just start putting this money away over time. I like the motto that Dave Ramsey always talks about is you put $100 away, $100 a month away, you have $1 million by the age of 55. If you start at 21, that compound interest model is saving Americans today. This is why a lot of people, they have to go back to work after they retire because they think it's about the money that they make. No, it's really about the money that you keep. A lot of successful people are keeping money in their insurance because they understand it's way more benefits than just making money. Securing your money, being able to take pennies and purchase dollars, being able to really understand the leverage of not having to pay taxes. When you look back over 30, 40 years and you look at all the money that you made and you got to pay that huge amount of tax out of your 401k portfolio or your IRAs or your mutual funds, I mean, I don't even know what we're talking about at this point. So it's a lot of people that are saving hundreds of even millions of dollars just storing their money into insurance policies versus storing their money into banks. I really like this. I'm gonna make sure we tag the creator below, and she has a part 2. I really want to cover that part 2 in another episode.